for what we know now, that India has achieved the Chandrayaan mission successfully, India is, I mean, at least seemingly gives it a thrust and puts us in a power position when it comes to deciding or suggesting. Would we know on the suggestions that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given on the sidelines of BRICS?
Yeah, as you heard him just say now, he's received so much support and congratulations around the world from the moon landing. And they've certainly India put themselves now on the map in terms of space, but also in just terms of logistics and how they go ahead in this summit. There's a lot of more upbeatness about his trip. There was a report that he was a bit upset on his arrival that President Ramaphosa or Deputy President Paul Mashatile did not welcome him. He actually called, it was a rumor that he said he would remain on the plane and try until somebody such as the president or the deputy president welcomed him. But he certainly is a popular character here in Johannesburg and in South Africa. We saw the diaspora meetings greeting him. There was footage on social media of him stopping on the side of the road as he was heading to one of his engagements to greet the fans on the side of the road. So he certainly is a very, very popular character here in South Africa.
All right. Tell us a little more about the BRICS. The meeting between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi has not been really penned out. There's no plan on such a meet. But what we know is that Xi Jinping is likely to come into India for the G20. So we believe, as much as Russia is attempting to try and make nice with its other BRIC nations partners or the big BRIC bloc, China is also attempting the same. Post-COVID, it appears that China has softened its stance, even though on the borders with India, they've been aggressive. But otherwise, on platforms like this, Xi Jinping has usually, more often than not, seen attempting to have a conversation with leaders, including Prime Minister Modi.
We obviously know Xi Jinping was on a state visit here 2 days ago. So he spent a lot of time signing deals with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The schedules are quite tight. Obviously, one would have thought that some kind of discussion would be had to try and set up a bilateral with him to try and find a time in the schedule here this week, in the next couple of days, or in the past few days, that would be. But the schedule is quite tight. They've got summits, retreats in the evening. They've got bilateral conversations. They've got the BRICS Business Forum, which has also taken place. So one would have thought that prior to the BRICS Summit, that they would have tried to set out some time to try and discuss the issues at hand, or that his teams, all the delegations are here. They've got a number of senior officials on both sides, both the Indian government and the Chinese government, to try and, to find a way that they could spend some time together, sit down, thrash out the ideas of the border issues, and then look at building their trade relations between one another. So time is of the essence. These summits go very quickly because of meetings and addresses to the media and evening functions as well. So we've only got a few more hours. It's 10:15 here in the morning right now. Yeah. And he's scheduled to have bilaterals with Iran, Mozambique, and Ethiopia a little bit later on today. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can find that time. Time is of the essence here. It's complicated.
Peter, but for us, the takeaway right here from the BRICS Summit, at least when it comes to a takeaway image, this is for sure Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping having a brief chat while they're headed to take their chairs before the BRICS Summit began. Now, this came just moments before they spoke on that stage. Will this brief chat between Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping translate into a formal meeting? Will there be any movement and progress when it comes to China's aggression along the borders and India negotiating in favor of the country? Of course, that remains to be seen, but this is certainly the highlight.